Well, the time has come to put a 1.8 engine in the silver Tiburon and put a new timing belt, water pump in this 1.8. I don't even think we're going to put head studs on it right now. This head looks like it was just replaced. I don't know what they would have torqued the head studs at, or head bolts at. I might try to torque those down a little bit. But I'm thinking about doing that. I don't think I'm going to put ARPs in it right away. We will if we pop the head gasket. But yeah, I think we're going to get the silver car going. I think we can run a 11.5 in that car with basically full interior car. You know, you can strip a little interior out before you go to the track to run 11.5 indexes. But something that I can drive to the store every day, work every day, or take a cruise on a Saturday. So basically what the black car used to do, we're going to do with the silver car, which I already do, but don't have a turbo on it. And if you remember that 2.0, we just threw it in there, and it was mismatched parts from everything that we own. We made it come to life. But we're going to throw this in here. Got ourselves a 1.8, and we're going to put some boost to that silver Tib. Okay, you can tell right before this thing must have been wrecked, it had some maintenance. The timing belt numbers ain't wore off. That usually don't take long because of the heat that it makes, you know. And then another example of that was, I must have threw it away. There's some, you can see this silicone here. The water pump was definitely replaced. I had a big chunk here. Must have threw it. But you can tell that this head gasket was even done. It looks pretty new. Right in there. It's hard to tell, guys. It's hard to show you on here. But the head gasket looks pretty new. And then another tail sign is, look how clean that engine is. So I think the valve cover was off and gone through. What the heck? But yeah, I think you could probably break this welds off of these and make turbo manifolds off of this. Might be possible off these 1.8s. That's how they came. Equal length from factory. Pretty cool. But yeah, I believe that was replaced. We had to do the oil pan anyway. I'm probably gonna end up doing the rear main seal. It looks like we got some leaking right around in here. That could be the oil pan because it meets up there. So I think I have the, I'm 100% I have the rear main and the gasket to do that already in the house. So yeah, keep tearing some stuff apart here. Got some things tore apart. Haven't worked down at this garage in a couple years. Where it all started at with the Hyundais. Got all that off anyway. Put new timing belt and water pump on this thing. I'm not going to get to it today. I'm going to tear everything off. Get to it tomorrow, I believe. Or I might get to it today. Who knows? It's got compression. What's up, Luna? Alright guys, we got water pump on, timing belt, tensioners, idler pulley, all on. This 1.8 set up here. Kit was off of the other one. We might have had 8,000, 10,000 miles on it, so we just put it over on this. That'd be completely fine. So did that. Everything's tight here. Got 4 to 6 inches of play here. It's a little bit, I must have had it a little bit too tight on the other one or something. Seemed like I had to push the tensioner in a little bit farther than normal. But it's whatever, it's tight, so it's good. I spun it around and everything's good to go there. And These are 41 torque those, just in case you didn't know. And we're going to do this job in the future, but the engine seems pretty good. Seems like it's going to be plenty good here. I think we will pull the intake manifold off yet, so we can put a thermal spacer back there. Probably a good idea. Actually, the parts car actually has one from Shark Racing. We might actually take that one and put on it. I don't know. The OBX ones seem to work good. Probably just throw that on there. And we just get a 10 bung coming for the oil pan. Pull that off, and then we're gonna do the gasket. We're just gonna go ahead and do a rear main and this gasket on this, and then the oil pan will be done. That right there, we know we ain't getting any oil on our clutch setup. The slipping is not gripping. Okay, building this junk outside. I'm gonna try to go fast for cheap as possible. Welded that in. Damn, the neighbors are loud. But as long as welded in on the rusted up pan. This is the pan off the 1.8 that went 10.7. So maybe it'll be some good luck. I didn't use the new one because I always end up messing them up because I put too much stuff on them. All right, these neighbors are loud, but these rods look good. Everything looks good. Everything felt good when grabbed a hold of it. Nothing felt goofy or of any sort. They're straight. The straight rods, that's a good thing. We usually bend those. Okay, we got a new thermostat in there, new gasket, silicone in there. Obviously, stuff that's made for antifreeze. And then you're going to torque these to 14. That's what I always go to, so that's OEM spec to the tightest. In my opinion, that's probably the best to go. There's 14 there. And 14 there. Guys, as you can see, this head was recently probably off of this motor, and the head gasket job was done, I would say. Looks like it's evidence of that anyway. Hopefully they didn't reuse the head bolts, so we're going to try to do that now anyway. It's just run head bolts. But I never have any luck with the head bolts, but we're going to try it. And the two O's, I have 300 horsepower. They just start to leak coolant out the back normally right over here. Well, we're going to possibly maybe torque these down a little bit more the way it's sitting in there and go from there. I think we might do that. But it's really clean. That's why I got this one to begin with. I should have showed you the valve cover before I put it away, but I wasn't thinking. The valve cover was really clean too inside, so maybe this motor was just very well taken care of, but to me I think there was a head gasket just done in it. Alright, we're going to put the original valve cover off the Mistress onto this car. Well, onto the silver car with this 1.8 engine. And we went to put the valve cover on it. This is still brand new, pretty much. And these were basically brand new too, as far as I remembered. Well, I went to put them in and they stuck on the, right on the guides when I pulled the valve cover back off. So, I guess that was telling me they needed change, and these are simple. You just put them in there and try to line them up as best as possible. Get like 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches would be better. And you just put them in there. They don't have far to go. So. You can basically get them by hand. not too bad to do. We got the valve cover on it now. So now you want to torque these at 72 inch-pounds, which is 6 foot-pounds. And I just kind of do like a stagger pattern all over it to where I get to my torque that I want, and then I go back over it after I get it, because sometimes you get part falling. Sometimes you get where they want to kind of pop back up a little bit again, not kind of go down even. But that's all I do. Alright guys, we painted these up. So at least painted anyway, so took the minerals out of the middle section out of them, which is these. Took that out and just cut them with a saw and then basically pried them out. Then one came out easily, this one didn't come out so easy, but that's the way it works. I got these BRD poly mounts inserts. You can get a hold of him, and these work pretty good. They start to flex some. I mean, some guys say they're pretty good to over 600, but I mean, hell, we were having them flex at like 4, but it was working. So that's what we're going to do with this silver car, is use these, and these are simple to put in. You just simply just shove them in there after you get that metal out of there. Real easy install. Literally, you guys see it's flush. I could get a mallet, but I don't think I need a mallet, to be honest with you guys. I think I got it. Then all you gotta do is take your middle pin, ram that through there. Using brass so we don't damage it. Close. Pretty close. You might have to use the socket here to drive it home on the last one. Really close, I don't know. I think it needs just a little bit more down here. I think we're good. Should be good now. Pretty simple install. That's pretty good. Then we got this side. Might as well do it real quick. This one we might need to hit a little bit with the hammer, maybe. Nope. Right in. No problem. cooperated a little bit better with us. Good. Yep. Flush on both sides. Nice and snug. You can see how snug they are. How snug that one is, and then they're not going nowhere, so you're not bending them. As we got all the bushings right there, all new for front and back. Got the collars for them there. Both collars here, because you got these two in the back are different. One's longer, one's here, and plus they're water in the back. And then the bushing in the back's different as well. I'm gonna throw them in there. Probably just gonna take a picture and let this keep on rolling. I'm not sure where I'm gonna stop this video, but just showing you guys stuff here and there. They did turn out pretty good. Everything was rusted up pretty good, but we got it sanded up and painted up, so. All right, everybody, we only got about 2 hours before dark, so we're gonna do our best to try to get this out of here. And she's leaking some oil. This engine's last a lot longer than I ever thought it would, and it's still running strong. I'm gonna try to figure out where the oil's coming from. It's probably coming from the head gasket, and if it is, nothing I can do. If you guys remember the video, this block was sitting outside with no head on it, rusted to pieces. I sanded it down, basically sanded it down to get the rust off the surface, put the head on it, and didn't leak oil for a while, and then it started to, but it's probably where it's at. Or it could be simple seal on the valve cover, who knows? But we'll pull it out, it's still running. We'll put it into the red car and use it for a winter. Back to work. All right, guys, we got the motor out of it. Took 2 hours to get it out, so we got that done. And now today we're gonna pull this transmission off, pull this clutch and everything. As you can see, we got a very bad oil leak. But if you go back and watch the video on this, what we did to this, it's a miracle this thing still runs, and it still runs strong. But I figured I'd show you as we got it out. Neighbors back here making all kinds of noise. But I'm gonna pull this off, and then we're gonna get everything prepped for the next motor, and I'll pick back up there. Well, 1/8's in there. Got a lot to do, but we'll get it done here today. No, I do not use an Hyundai Tiburon clutch. We use a clutch conversion, which uses a 92 DSM clutch from a non-turbo car. All right, we're gonna sum this up pretty quickly. Took us about 2 hours to get the old motor out. Hour and 45 minutes. Took about 5 hours to get everything back in. First issue we had was power steering belt was way too loose. I figured it was with the pulley, so I put the original one back on. Same issue. So I figured, oh man, all right, that ain't gonna work. Then I look over here, and we have this issue, which we ended up having not once, but twice. So I fixed it. Got one out of the parts car. Figured, well, I'm gonna go over and get that belt, and we can drive it then. So I put that in there, right? Go get the belt, fix that problem. Look over here, we got this problem again. So we ordered new top mounts, KYB top mounts. They should be in today or tomorrow. So we fixed that. Then I always take the timing belt cover off. When I start it, figure, well, now we can start it. So we started it, and we had a wobbler. I've had this happen before with 1.8s, timing belt kits. It was wobbling. So I actually have another 1.8 here that I put a new timing belt kit in my RD a long time ago. I'm not sure if I videoed that or not, probably did. Well, the 1.8 ended up having some leaks in it, and I'm going to put a 2.0 in it this winter, because that's my winter driver. So I took the timing belt off of that, put it on there, because it works. You know what I mean? I started the car up before I even took it off. The car has major leak issues, so. But you still started it up, and I looked at it, made sure it took everything from the bolts to everything and put it into this. So he's doing that. The next thing you know, I'll show you actually, instead of taking that out of there, I'm going to show you a picture now. In that picture you can see the bolt hole stripped on it. And as you can tell, there's not enough room to drill that out. Put a helicoil in it, or was it time stirred or something, or I forget what they call it, the other one. So there's no room to do that. So you either pull the motor, right? Either pull it and drill it, or pull the damn head off of it, take it to the machine shop, let them do that, whatever they think's best. Go ahead and let them tap it for turbo feed on this end right here. I got the fitting for them to do that. They can tap it while it's there, right? Let them do all that. And that's what I decided to do, because I was just going to run head bolts in this, just regular head bolts. And I would check them. Hopefully we can get them out of here, because whoever did this head job, and I could tell this head job was done because this is all like brand new in here, and you can tell it was a new head gasket on it. Well, they must have torqued those things to like 80 foot-pounds, because I checked them at 75 and they still weren't turning. So I figured, well, that'd be good. But now we're at the issue now where we got to take them out. Hopefully we can get them out of there without anything coming out. So that's the next struggle. So pray that we get those out of there. At least I'm going to pray that I get those out of there. And hopefully in the next video clip, we have this off. And then we're going to have to shave, I think it's there, and right there. I think it's these three right here. We have to shave a little bit off to get our socket down in, which is a 12 millimeter. Now let's go ahead and find an extension around here somewhere. Should have one. Everything keeps going missing. Here's a long one. Don't matter. Don't want to work. These Pittsburgh steel ones are actually pretty good. I actually think I could probably get this one without having to do that. Obviously these ones you can, this one you all can, but this one I might, but this one you have to basically do it. But I don't know, I might be able to get in there without doing it, but I'm going to shave those out a little bit. You always have to shave these three centers out when you go to put ARP studs in. Just enough around the cap area here where this can go in, but as you can see, this actually might work. It's a center wall one. Pittsburgh steel 12 point. Who knows? But wish me luck. I'll get back with you guys. Man, I was hoping to get this in and just go out, drive it NA for like a week or two. Yeah, maybe a week, and turbo it. That was the plan. So when you watch this video, we're gonna just look out for different parts, because we'll be doing it in parts, and I planned on doing it in one video, but things became issues. So when issues pop up, I keep it real with you guys, and I show you everything. It's a love-hate relationship with this stuff. No, we got the head off of this thing. The head gasket definitely was just replacing this, which I figured you could tell everything that was done to it showed that the head gasket was just done, but whoever did it used nothing but power tools, and them things strip everything, guys. They're so worthless. Yeah, they'll save you a little bit of time, but in the long run, you lose a lot of time. And I guarantee it, they're the ones that stripped that bolt. It was starting to strip, and by the time, you know, I torqued it for the second time, it was over. I mean, I always start my, you know, my bolts straight and make sure I can go by finger tight before I ever even try to start torquing them, and that there's no interference. So it was definitely done before me, but what can you do? I just used some of this cheap ass dollar store stuff and just sprayed it from one end to the other, and basically just to do what it says. Displace moisture. That's what we're trying to do, because as you can see, this job is done outside. It just got done raining. Oh yeah, kind of sucks. I gotta stuff some stuff up in these. This stuff's all gotta come off, but I'm gonna do that at a different time. Put a thermal gasket on that. We're gonna even do that, but I'm going to now since it's already off. You can tell where someone was in here before and they used a bit, so hopefully they didn't get in there and clean it off down too much and ruin it. It doesn't look like it, but I'm gonna get in there and clean it a little bit again with the head being straight. Hopefully it'll be good. Like I said, this head gasket, we could probably just reuse it, but I have one in there and that's what we're gonna do. Honestly, that head gasket could be reused. But what I'm gonna do while I have downtime is, I got a spare head I'm gonna stick on here. Okay, now the last thing we're gonna do, since we're waiting on the other head to get done now, is we're gonna put a couple head bolts in this, hold it down. We're gonna get our turbo manifold and turbo out here, and then we're gonna mock up, pull the front bumper off, mount the intercooler, route all of our intercooler piping. It's the same stuff that I had on the Misters in the beginning, so it's just that turbo kit, other than a different turbo manifold. I found a Mantac manifold, so hopefully it'll sit a little closer and we don't have to grind our transmissions. We're gonna find out. Hopefully we can get away with running the alternator up front, because I'm hoping the exhaust will come right around in here. We'll just wrap it. We'll wrap it and go from there, but we'll talk more about that when we start to mock it up. We can throw the intake manifold actually on the back of this as soon as we put a couple bolts in there, line that up so we can get everything mocked up and ready to roll. So when that head comes, all we got to do is hook everything back up and throw some boost to it. But we'll carry on. I think I'm going to upload this video, and let me know, guys, if you want me to do like a time lapse, because I don't have time to really film everything. It's trying to do a lot of stuff in one day and doing this at the end of the day, basically. So I figured maybe a time lapse, or just keep doing it the way I'm doing. So just let me know in the comments, time lapse or just do what I'm doing. A little bit of time lapse, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and make a video of it. A little feedback with that would help me, just so I know if anybody's actually enjoying these videos at all. I mean, they're not the best, but I try. Thanks for watching.